Hello, guys. Hope everybody's doing well. It's been a hot minute, I know. Again, sorry. Uh, it's a busy time of year for me, the holidays, just coming out of summer. We were busy summer vacations and stuff. We have a lot of people that come out. I'm looking at my hair, it's so frizzy. Um, and Now, we just got done with Samhain, which is a busy time, not only for the store, but for me personally. I have Samhain ritual here at the house with my tribe, and and it's a big to do. At least it is for me. We have our outdoor ritual, and then we come indoors and we have a big fancy feast with our ancestors for our quiet supper. And I think the last video I made, I think it's called something like Samhain and the Spider Walk or something. It's really kind of funny if you know me and my history of spiders. Um, I was really quite brave that night. And so, sorry, I had my allergies crazy, which is why I'm upstairs in my witch room because the witch cottage, kind of dusty. It's been kind of windy the last week. um, And I know, my allergies are worse in the fall, winter than they are in the summer. And I actually asked my doctor about that. And mostly it's because I'm very, very allergic to mold. And when the leaves dry, they get a powdery dust on them. And because we're in an area where it's very damp and humid here, um, the leaves, the grasses and stuff are always damp, and so it grows mold. So then when we have dry weather, like in the cold and right, like I said, it's been kind of windy out, um, it blows all that mold and stuff, and it just kills me. It just kills me. So the witch cottage, I usually go in like the day before and kind of get things dusted and swept out because it's that little cottage sits like in the woods. I mean, there's trees right practically on the cabin, so which I love. But aesthetically, I love that little place. um, anyway, so yeah. So I've been busy, and then just coming out of Samhain, we're jumping right into Thanksgiving, and then or which we just had, and then jumping right into Yule/Christmas. Being in a military town, we have a lot of people from out of town visiting their kids, like I said, and or families, whatever. And so our store is usually very busy this time of year as well. So I don't celebrate Thanksgiving and I don't celebrate Christmas. So I don't have to worry about all of that. And I forgot what I was going to say. um, oh, and Yule, I have my Witchcraft 101 class, and so we'll be doing Yule ritual this year. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's sort of bittersweet because our class is ending in December. That's the end of our year and a day, and so it's always sad to say goodbye to my students. Especially certain classes like this class. I love this class. I didn't have a class last year, but the year before it was the COVID year, 2020. That class, I love those students. They were so supportive, just great. They were so awesome. To have to deal with, we had to do some onlining, for a couple months, and um, they stuck it out. They hung in there and they stuck it out, and they're just awesome, So I miss them a lot. Um, all but one, just saying. Anyway, I mean, happy about that. I see her all the time, almost. Yeah, I see her like all week. um, anyway, uh, yeah, so that's it. I've been so busy. I've put together some topics that I want to talk about. But I didn't feel like doing it today because I am busy. I'm trying to get everything ready for the last couple of classes for my 101 class. So anyway, I just ran up here real quick, and I hadn't done my tarot pool for this week, and so I did that already. Um, as you know, I'll just pull it up here. I use the I use the transparent tarot, and I thought it was really, really interesting. I got the Queen of Swords, the Eight of Wands, and the Fool card. Her deck is very, very different. When you put them all together, it's a layered effect. So you put them all together, and I just loved it because the Fool, the Fool is all about that transformation and just moving on, letting go of the old, which was his cocoon or her cocoon, letting go and just moving, or chrysalis. I knew I'd get it. Chrysalis, letting go of her chrysalis, and transforming and just moving on and seeing things from, with a whole new light in your eyes, and she's actually being chased, what it looked like, by the Eight of Wands, which in this particular card, the wands have flames on the very bottom of the wand, and the figure in the figure on the card, let's show you that real quick, just like going, right? I mean, just going. And quickly. It's going to happen really quickly. So this transformation, and this would be laid like this then. You see, oh, glare, glare, glare. There we go. I'm sitting by the window, and it's the only light I have in here. So it's the sun keeps coming out and going away. So the Fool card, butterfly, moth, whatever it is, just opening the wings, moving on. The Eight of Wands is like literally pushing it along. Yes, move forward, go, just driven and all of that. And then the last card I pulled was the I'll just put it right there, was the Queen of Swords. And so, swords is all about, it is also, I think to a degree, it is also about creativity. I mean, you have to think about whatever it is you want to do, right? Wands puts it into action. I get that part, but I still think the two are kind of intertwined. But but be smart about it. Use your intellect, use your knowledge, use what you know to really push yourself and drive yourself. You're going to have to do that work to get going. But I just couldn't believe, that spread. And for those who ask, no, I don't. I do not ask any questions. I just ask the universe basically what it is that I need to know, and the universe tells me. But when I layer them, because this is ultimately what I do, is I layer them. Look at how she had the Queen of Swords has literally grown the wings, and all of the wands now are up here. And that's why I said I think the two are kind of intertwined, because those wands, those things that are going to push her forward, and that ambition and that drive, it all comes, from here. Because if you think you can't, well, then you can't. But if you think you can, chances are, if you work at it, you can. And that's what I loved about this spread. And it couldn't have come at a better time, because I haven't made this announcement yet at my store. I will. So if you're a customer and you were curious, now you'll know. Um, I'm not doing the Witchcraft 101 class 20 this next year, 2023. Can't believe I can't. It's hard for me to even say that. 2023. That's weird. Um, I took last year off. I needed self-care time because COVID 2020. That was chaos. That was complete chaos. And then last year I just took off all of my classes, didn't do anything. And at first I thought, oh, what am I doing? I'm so bored. I have a very active mind. I can't slow down. my body can slow down, but my mind, it is 100 miles an hour. It literally, it drives me crazy. And I'm a Gemini, and I know that I drive probably everybody around me crazy. And which brings me to this: you either love me or you hate me. Your choice. We all have choices in life. And your choice is none of my business. I am who I am. So, honesty. I did have someone just ask me the other day, someone who I know, in case they're watching the video. I'm not going to mention any names, but you'll know. Asked me if I felt like people were threatened by me or intimidated by me. And it really just made me chuckle because my first reaction was, huh? Like, for what? What would that be? Like, what would that be? And but it really didn't take me but a few minutes or seconds really to say, well, if they are, I'm sorry that they feel that way, but that would be on them. That would be their choice. Um, I don't think that I've ever, not in my adult life, I don't think. Well, no, that's not true. I have. But for the most part, have I ever just, you know, said to somebody, oh, well, blah, 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 get out, like, I mean, not like that, just not like that. Um, but what I told this person was that, when I think about it, I think that people are, a lot of people, they want the truth, but they can't. Reminds me of the movie. What was that movie? A Few Good Men, like they want the truth, but they can't handle the truth. Um, the actual truth. People don't like to know the truth about themselves because it hurts. It hurts to know. It hurts me to know that there are people out there that might be intimidated by me. I mean, it kind of hurts. Like why? What have I done? What did I do? What did I say? Um, and I would rather have someone say, well, because you talk too much and it drives me crazy. Okay, thank you for that. So, uh, and there is one person, this has been years ago, that sent me a huge, long email that said I was a hot mess and went on, blah, 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 but never said why. Just said, and then said it like twice. You're a hot mess, but never said why. And of course, I wanted to like send back that message really quick, but I didn't. And I thought about it and I thought, well, that's none of my business. I mean, you are absolutely able to think that about me. That's you, and that's how you feel. And I'm sorry that you feel that way. However, if you're not going to tell me why, then it doesn't matter to me. Do you know? And I don't mean that in a mean, sarcastic way. And so maybe that is why people don't. Maybe that's why people have, um, I don't know, if people are intimidated or whatever the other word that she used was. Um, unless you're going to speak with me, then I don't care. It's just, and like I said, we all have choices in life. Like me or don't. It's none of my business. I'm going to be who I am because I've worked very, very hard all my life to be who I am. Um, there were more years than not that I wasn't who I am. And maybe there are some people that would say, oh, well, you should go back to that then. Well, if you lived in my shoes back then, you might have a different outlook on that. Um, I would not want to go back to that, uh, quite honestly. So I'm quite content with who I am. I'm content with my honesty. I imagine that I could probably be less, maybe harsh, if that is what I am. But, and I can sit here and say, but I don't think I'm harsh. I mean, if the person thinks I'm harsh again, that's on them, but I'm not saying anything like rude. I don't call them names and put them down in front of I just don't put them down and, just that kind of stuff. Um, but that takes a lot because in doing that, you have to then own the fact that some people can't handle that, and chances are you will be the one that's not looked at favorably, and because people are afraid, they don't think they are, and they're going to find reasons why they don't like you or this or that or the other. But if I ask them directly, it's the him and haw around the subject. And so that's when I learned and said, then, really, I mean, I'm sorry you feel that way. But I stand in my truth, and I stand in my honesty, and I stand in my truth. I don't lie to people. Um, and, yeah, so anyway, blah, blah. Where am I going? This is where I'm going. So that spread shows up, and again, the beginning of the week, all I do is I just say, okay, universe, here I am. What do I need to see? What do I need to look at? What do you need me to do? Not do this, that, and the other. And that came up, and it's so what I've been working on the last few years. And I say few years because I mean few years. I've mentioned it in my videos. I worked on, I'm still, right now I'm printing, so I'm re-editing and making sure that everything is good to go as I'm doing that. So it's still taking some while, but I'm doing a tarot course this next year at the store. So I will not be doing the Witchcraft 101 class this year, but I am going to be doing the monthly classes. So I'm doing sort of a balancing thing. And the 101 class, I have just completed 7 years. That's a lot. 7 years is a lot of teaching the same thing all year long. I love it because I love the people that stay dedicated to it, that learn from it, that grow from it, and have found their path in it. Um, and But then I also there's those that aren't interested in taking that course, but they still want to learn about things. And I got to the point this year where it's like I cannot do the 101 class and teach the monthly classes as well. And I want to teach this class. Plus, I do Reiki. I teach Reiki classes or give Reiki attunements throughout the year. That's a lot. Plus, I run my store, so yeah, I was beat. I was beat up last year, and so I didn't teach anything, no Reiki, no tarot. I didn't do anything. So this year, no Witchcraft 101, going back to the monthly classes for this year, going to attempt. We'll see. Hopefully, people will sign up for the course, and we'll do the tarot course. It's different from tarot. It's a tarot course, but just a little bit different. Uh, Lots of exercises, lots of practice. So there will be activity constantly in the class. And that'll all be announced on our Facebook page, The Peddler and the Crow. So if you're interested in that, check that out. Um, yeah, and so that was really kind of encouraging. Yeah, so I kind of like that. All right. Well, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was, and I didn't mean to get all into talk about me and honesty and all that stuff. But one of the things, like synchronicities, has popped up so much in the last few months. One of my worker bees and I have been having this conversation now for months, and now the other worker bee has joined in on the conversation just about synchronicities and how, sometimes you're just like, oh, stop it. Why? But we love them, like, right? We love that. So this last Friday, one of my dearest, 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 dearest friends uh, came to the store, and I see her throughout the year. But came to the store, and she always brings a little goodie here or there. And this time, she brought me this goodie bag that was like overflowing with stuff. And I wanted to show you some of the stuff because it's really, really, some of the stuff's just really, really super cool and fun. And one in particular thing I absolutely love and adore, but I can't show you that yet because I'm actually going to be using that later. So I can't show it to you now. Um, but I thought so one of the things that was in the bag was this little book journal thing. And I kind of like skimmed through it, while we were standing there talking. And then, sorry, I'm wiggling. I'm sitting on the floor and I'm getting uncomfortable. Um, so, I flipped through it and I was like, wow, this is going to be hard. This is intense. So I looked it up, and as with everything, there's pros and cons. There's pros and cons with everything. It doesn't matter what book you wrote, what painting you painted, what craft you crafted, what class you taught, and how you taught it. um, it just depends on the person, right? That's on the receiving end of that and what they think. So yesterday I sat down and I opened this up. This is the book, Burn After Writing. Now, this is let's see if it'll show it. Such a glare. I apologize. So it's a journal, and there's just all these questions that you're to answer. Well, I just I opened it up, yesterday to look at it, I guess, and see what what it was kind of all about. And the first thing that I flipped to was the disclaimer. This it was on page, I don't know what page it is. Oh, page 11. And so it says disclaimer. And this is what cracked me up, but here's the synchronicities. If you are not you, then you may not go further. Talking about reading this book. If you're not you, then you can't go any further. I cracked up at that because that's kind of what we were talking about, was this whole honesty thing. And that, if you're not you, then who are you, right? I mean, don't be a fake you. Why? I don't know if anybody watches Judge Judy. I find her very annoying. But sometimes it's on, and you're doing something, but you can hear her in the background. She's a little annoying, but it's just funny. One of the things that she always says over and over again, if you tell the truth, you don't have to stop and remember what you said the first time, right? Because that was the truth. Because the truth is going to come out one way or the other. If you think that somebody doesn't know you, and you tell, you're telling something to somebody, don't be surprised if that person you're talking to doesn't know either the situation or the person or whatever it is that you're talking about. So, I'm just saying. So that was kind of funny. If you can't be you, then don't go any further. So I loved that, and that's what I was trying to say is I'm very honest. I'm very, I'm authentically honest, and that can be really harsh. I know, because a lot of times we don't want to hear the truth. Learning the truth about yourself. Well, and I'm not saying that that's learning the truth about yourself. That's their opinion. That's what they think of you. And not everybody likes everybody, and that's okay because that's your choice. We have choices in this world. We make a choice. You can either like me or not. So you can either be part of my life or not. It's very easy, really, when it comes down to it. Does it hurt? It might hurt a little bit, but move on. Like, move on. We have choices. And when we choose to stay in a situation or an environment that we either have to fake our own emotions, to fake how we feel, to make the other person comfortable, I'm sorry, that's not for me. I'm not comfortable with that. So, yeah, so I'd rather someone just, be honest and go, hey, this is why. And it might sting and it might hurt. Maybe I'll shed a tear. I don't know. But if I don't know, um, number one, if it's something that I did to offend you, I can't apologize. But I've just learned over the years. Uh, I've done a lot of growing over the last few years with emotions and warding and dissecting and getting to the point where I understand choices, and that regardless of how anybody feels about you, that's their choice. Because I can tell you right now, there are people I don't like. It's that simple. My choice. I don't like them for whatever reason, and it's nobody's business but my own, right? So anyway, so this book, I decided, I go, well, let me see. Let me open it up and just see what it's about. So I opened up the page. I'm just doing it right now. Like, okay, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to open it up. This question right here. Oh, it's really long. Wait, let's do something else. That's like a eeny, meeny, miny, mo kind of picture. That's a paragraph. Okay. Wow. That was the first thing my eyes went to. I wish I had never met. Hmm. I'm trying to think because I've met a lot of people that turned out not to be serving of my highest good. Um, do I wish I hadn't met them? I'm going to say no. No, I don't wish that I had not met them, because I think that obviously, I would be a different person today than had I not met them. I think that everybody has something to offer everybody else. It could be the slightest little thing. Um, when someone has ulterior motives, um, do I think that's unethical? Yeah, I do. Had I wish I'd not met them? No, because now I'm more aware. I'm more cautious about what information I give to people. And this is so bizarre. Like, this is just really bizarre. There's a woodpecker right outside my window. He's making it really hard. Um, I'm going to say no because it made me stronger. It made me realize that you do have to be selective, maybe even cautious. I like to go back to the witch's pyramid and use to be silent about aspects of our own life. Um, we share a lot of our personal selves with people that we have grown to love and trust, and you know, you just kind of like spill the beans, and but then as soon as something happens, or if something happens and the relationship goes sour, well then, you know, there's this whole ball of information that personal information, heartfelt information that you've entrusted uh, with someone. And depending on that person, then that information can be turned against you, can be turned on you, can be how they perceived it, you know, can be that's their own perception of what you said. Words are sneaky, man. They're sneaky. So, you know, and then something that you trusted with that person, and that person's angry or mad or whatever at you, then they yap to the next person that they fall in relationship with, friendship, romance, whatever. And so now your personal stuff that you trusted with someone is now exposed. So, do I wish that I had not met them? No, because that is a lesson learned, and um, that benefits my growth. That benefits my strength as a person. Does it make me a little more honest? um, well, I guess one person's honesty is another person's dishonesty, right? Um, that's a tough one. But my answer would be no. I cannot think. I mean, right now, I'm running out of time. I can, as usual, I cannot think of one person right now that I would not have wanted to meet. Um, Exes, they're an ex for a reason. It was either my choice or their choice. Had to be somebody's choice that they're an ex. If it was my choice, then, you know, lesson learned. If it was their choice and I got hurt, lesson learned. But you have to take those. You know, you can't just use that uh, hurt and against them. You know what I mean? Like, because you're hurt, so now you're gonna get revenge. You know, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and I'm not gonna support them, and I'm not gonna, you know, because guess what? You know, they probably have information about you as well that you probably would not like shared with the world. So, yeah, so I'm going to say no, there isn't one person that I've met that I wish I had never met. Would I run up and hug them if I saw them? No. No. Would I forgive them? You know, forgiving somebody and trusting somebody are two different things, in my opinion. So there's that. Um, yeah. So I think I'm going to enjoy this book, and I think I might share this again. So I'm going to close the video with what I just did. Is there anybody in your life that you wish you hadn't met? See you next time. Be well, be kind, love you. Bye.